Welcome, my friends, to another community showdown featuring the Skaven, who shall be led by Scribble. And today, guys, he's going to be facing off against the Greenskin hordes, who shall be led by October, aka Aerocrastic. So for the Skaven, it looks like they're going to be going for a mass leadership rush. So what I mean by that, if you take a look here at the Plague Monk Sensor Bearers, they have an ability called Contaminate. So Contaminate, whenever they hit anything, it's going to be tanking the leadership by 10. So you do that in conjunction with terror-causing units. You can really route off like low-tier, or not low-tier armies. Greenskins certainly aren't low-tier, but low-leadership armies like the Greenskins. So two groups of Plague Monk Sensor Bearers who are going to be buffed up here by a couple of groups of Rat Ogres. So the Rat Ogres are going to be packing that heavy punch, that mass, and it looks like we're actually going to have Rat Ogres fighting against Trolls, which is going to be pretty interesting. Now let's actually compare stats. So Trolls are 34, 32, 100 compared to 39, 26, 83. But again, Rat Ogres have a charge bonus of 50, and these guys have 24. So man, Rat Ogres have a much better charge bonus. And of course, Trolls have pretty low leadership, but their overall damage is a little bit better. On top of that, it looks like there's going to be a Grey Seer with the Lore of Ruin, so this is going to bring the Unholy Clamor to the battlefield, giving leadership to the Skaven forces, as well as Vigor. And on top of that, it does cause fear, it does not cause terror, but yeah, that's a pretty good buff. And Death Frenzy can be quite scary as well, giving your entire force, especially Plague Monk Sensor Bearers, getting 25% weapon damage plus melee attack. They can become, pretty solid lawnmowers for sure. On top of that, we do have the Plague Priest on the Furnace as well. So this is going to be the Mortis engine, and it looks very much like this is going to be just like a Bum Rush Skaven build. So it's going to be benefiting from blobbed fights and trying to get that Mortis engine effect and the big terror routes, things like that. So I definitely like the pick of the Plague Furnace. On top of that, we have the Wheels of Doom. So this is going to be the Regiment of Renown of Doom Wheels. And this thing, again, is going to be the main terror piece, because a lot of these Skaven troops, I don't think any of the furnaces actually cause terror. So Grey Seer does not, and neither does the Plague Priest on his furnace. So yeah, having the Wheel of Doom alive is going to be really important. And on top of that, for the Greenskins, Azag sniping that is going to be a huge play as well if it's possible. So for the rest of the Skaven force, it's pretty much just going to be chaff. I mean, the main core really is going to be the draining from the Plague Priest, the Sensor Bearers, and kind of that leadership route with the terror from the Wheels of Doom. Now for the forces of the Greenskins, who are going to be led by Aerocrastic. We do have Forest Goblin Spider Riders on the flanks. Always a good tool for either pressuring Skaven back lines, going after Jazales, Rattling Gunners, artillery pieces, but also quite good at chasing off routing rats who do break. So really one of my favorite units on the Greenskin roster. Aside from that, it's going to be Troll City. So we got Trolls, we got Black Orcs, we got Orc Boys, we got Savage Orc Biggins, a very diverse front line. Savage Orc Biggins I do like. Anti-large, armor piercing, immune to psychology temporarily while their frenzy's active, but they can really tear down bigger threats on the Skaven roster like Hellpits and Rat Ogres. So I really like that pick as well. Now, something else that's going to be quite useful, considering that despite the power of this Greenskin Wa, it's going to have some trouble like cracking this like Plague Furnace kind of composition. So having these archers in the back is quite good. Goblin Wolf Rider archers, two of those guys, and I think he has two over here as well. So that's going to give him good steady pressure against these Sensor Bearers who go down very quickly to missile pressure, and also quite good against Rat Ogres, Hellpits, things like that. So let's get the show on the road, guys, and have some fun. So firstly, the Doom Wheel is going to be forced back. The first Spirit Leech from Azag is going to be cast here, which is going to be afflicting the Wheels of Doom. Definitely have a good target. Why is it not doing damage? Did you guys notice that? Something's up with that. So he just Spirit Leeched that Wheels of Doom, and it took no damage, like whatsoever, like literally nothing. That's very strange. I've never seen that before. Anyways, guys, Azag's going to be jumping in, going after the booty of the Wheels of Doom. Very good choice. And the wall is going to be popped as well, and it looks like some sort of a targeted spell, maybe a summon or something. A Warp Lightning getting dropped, but I think that was actually a misclick. It accidentally got summoned on top of those troops. So in the frontline fighting, the Rat Ogres have engaged with the Trolls. The Troll Toll shall be paid. Danny DeVito would be proud here. And yeah, it looks like it's just a big monster mash. Now, normally this wouldn't be bad for Trolls, considering they regenerate, but the fact that there is some kind of leadership issues coming in with the Blightscab's Plague Pack coming in, yeah, that's actually even better. So they're going to get contaminated, and then the Trolls are going to get terrified by the Doom Wheel. It's a really powerful composition. So the Trolls and the Goblins, all these other troops are very heavily pushed off here, and also the Focus Fire from Aerocrastic doing some really good work here against the Wheels of Doom, but Scribble's main core just crumped those gits. I mean, those Trolls, those Orc Boys, and those Savage Orc Biggins just got pushed off, but it's not really that big of a deal for the Greenskins. They've done some pretty good damage back. You can see a little bit of poking here on the Rat Ogres and some other troops like that. And of course, being able to kind of endure this initial push from the Skaven, then pull them apart, isolate the threats. Like over here, you have some isolated Skaven, right? These are freebies. This is free real estate. Take these guys out, get the Trolls to pound city, and the other Trolls that have run can, now start healing, assuming they don't get chased off the battlefield. Skaven aren't the best at chasing things off the battlefield either. But anyways, like I said, Scribble's done a pretty good job here of just pounding out the front line initially. If you could actually chase off these Trolls and some of these other assets just right off the edge of the battlefield here, that would be a really big boon, because if those guys come back, they still have 10 of their 12 models, and Trolls, of course, do have healing. In the meantime, Aerocrastic getting some solid focus fire here from the Goblin Wolf Rider archers, so shooting into the Blightscab's Plague Pack, a very, very good choice for sure. I mean, he needs to pull the Skaven army apart. There's no way he's going to be winning a head-up fight with, the contamination, the Mortis Engine effects, and some of the other variables that are in play here. So if we look around the battlefield, in the back you can see some Skaven are fleeing into the sunset. The Greenskins trying to, pick their fights where they can. Goblin archers going to be hunting these guys down. Azag going after the clan rats, which is a good choice. Black Orcs will probably pile in as well. Maybe, no, it looks like Azag's just going to kind of solo those guys. And up here the Greenskins were able to pretty much shatter off some of the Skaven chaff. But really the big meat in the army is going to be dealing with the Plague Priests and the Furnaces, and it looks like the Skaven are forming their own battle line, trying to waste the ammunition here of the Wolf Rider archers by putting the Plague Priests and the other units out of range. Then they have to shoot against clan rats and some of these other troops. So some of the trolls are getting chased off. Rat Ogres are faster than trolls, I think, 60 speed against 54, so Rat Ogres should be able to chase those guys off the battlefield, which is quite nice. And some of the other trolls are coming in, maybe trying to pay the troll toll, but they have to be careful. They, of course, can be terror routed. Trolls are immune to fear because they cause fear, but they can be terror routed because they do not cause terror, so you got to watch out for that. But the Greenskins, like I said, just going after isolated pockets, they really need to pull apart the Skaven army and be very, very efficient with their ammunition conservation. If the Goblin Wolf Rider archers waste ammo on infantry and clan rats and things like that and aren't pouring their very precious ammunition into high value targets, it's going to be a pretty tricky game for them. In the meantime, Rat Ogres are coming back from rallying here. They're going to be going into some trolls who have bravely engaged here in the front line. Some of the trolls being tumbled by the Wheels of Doom and the Rat Ogres coming in. So this could be a little bit rough for the Greenskins because these trolls might break and could potentially be chased off by the Ogres. Granted, the Greenskins do have a lot of supporting elements here. So chasing off these trolls, certainly possible, but in doing so, you're going to be taking a lot of focus fire from Wolf Rider archers, which pour a salvo of fire into the Rat Ogres, but it looks like the Ogres were able to mitigate most of that. So Balance Fire is pretty much dead even. In the back, it looks like Azag is going to be going for a dive on the Plague Monk Sensor Bearers, which isn't a bad idea. But again, they hit very hard. So sitting here, he will be taking damage. Azag only has 24 melee defense, so he's very much a glass cannon character. And his HP isn't like, that of like a lot of other characters who like flying dragons and monsters and things like that. So Azag's going to be pulling back now, very, very wise. I mean, Spirit Leeches, I guess delaying the battle. Spirit Leech and the Wheels of Doom, I think, is the best choice. Again, it's pretty good against single entities, but also getting rid of the terror is huge because a single terror out can buckle an entire Greenskin army if they're in like a blob fight. So picking that bad boy off here, I think, is going to be essential for a Greenskin victory. Now, as far as the Skaven victory goes, a screening here with Skaven slaves and some of these other troops, making sure your high value assets aren't isolated here by Wolf Rider archers and other tools like that is going to be very important. And yeah, these Sensor Bearers definitely need to get back. If they get like forced into combat versus Savage or Biggins and some of these Spider Riders are able to isolate them away from the support, that's pretty big. So Azag jumps in, maybe gets a couple kills on the Sensor Bearers, but a Furnace is going to be intercepting him. It has pretty good mass, of course, not the best combat capabilities, but intercepting nonetheless isn't a bad idea to kind of force Azag back. And the Wheels of Doom still zapping, having a good old time. Good play here by Scribble, sending in these Skaven slaves to try and push back the archer units, keep them out of range while he fights here in the back line. So if we look in the distance, some of the trolls are paying the toll. These trolls, unfortunately, the troll toll hath been paid for them. It looks like they are going to get pushed off. Granted, if they were to come back, if these trolls were to rally, oh no, these Skaven are in trouble. Because now you can see the trolls are going to be coming back in, and yeah, they're going to beat down these clan rats for sure. So the glorious combat's underway. They got their shanks out for the horned rat. Yeah, the trolls should be able to win this. Their regeneration will outscale the DPS of the clan rats like pretty easily. But I mean, yeah, they're not going to break. 29 leadership should be fine. Now back to the main course here. You can see the Skaven are kind of reforming their blob over here. Greenskins going in for kind of a mini alpha strikes, trying to charge in, get value where they can, pull back while the buffs are active. So we does see the Death Frenzy's active, and he pulls back. Very good play. Warp Lightning coming down here, and let's see the damage it does against some of these guys. Oh, looks like he's going to get back quick enough, so the Greenskin's quite slippery here. Trolls are certainly a relatively speedy unit. In the meantime, Azag's going to be going in, jumping in, going after the Mortis Engine Furnace. So if you can't get the Doom Wheel, that's probably the next best choice. The Greenskins have a metric ton of infantry here, but thankfully they have some Black Orcs. Black Orcs, of course, are immune to psychology. Oh, an aspect of the Dread Knight. Look at that, coming in from Azag. So that is going to make the entire Greenskin force, who is buffed by aspect of the Dread Knight. Of course, leadership helps, but they're also immune to terror while this is active because they caused terror. That is really big, and they could actually get terror outs on Rat Ogres and some of the chaff units. That is a huge play there from Aerocrastic here with Azag, but it looks like a nice Warp Lightning is going to be coming down from Scribble right on top of these Black Orcs who are being trained by Mortis Engines. Oh, and they just get zapped into the Age of Sigmar. Definitely not fun for those guys. And the Plague Priest here, the Spirit Leech is afflicting him though, and Azag coming in with really good cycle charge plus supporting fire from the Goblin Wolf Rider archers is really generating a ton of value. And it looks like the Plague Priest is going to be pushed off. Granted, the Skaven still have the Wheels of Doom, they still have the Grey Seer, they still have the Plague Monk Sensor Bearers, and I think they still have the Plague Pack fighting somewhere, so yeah, they still have some really good troop quality, and ammunition is becoming a bit of an issue as these Goblin Wolf Rider archers are running a little bit dry. Also, some trolls are coming back for Greenskins, so that's a pretty nice boon, the ones that did win the fight over there, and yeah, this is actually not a bad idea. Just get these guys and go beat down some of the clan rats and just get value where you can without having to commit to the center Skaven mass. So that's pretty bad. These trolls getting terror out at negative leadership as well. So another group of full health trolls are probably going to get chased off the battlefield. I mean, the edge is right here. Incredible stuff right there, as this Grace here is going to be pushing them off. The Wheels of Doom can push them off, and we certainly have a very fierce cockfight on our hands. Though on that same note, though, the Greenskins are able to retort. So they come back here with the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. They chase down the Plague Priest. That's a great grab. Getting this guy is going to be just bread city. 212 HP on this guy. If you don't kill him, he's at the very least probably going to get pushed off the battlefield. So the Greenskins very much avoiding the main fight. Black Orcs, though they are strong, will take a ton of damage against Sensor Bears, who have amazing AP values as well as melee attack. And Black Orcs have very low melee defense. Their real defensive attribute is their armor, so the Plague Monk Sensor Bears pretty much circumvent that. So the archers are swarming in, going after the Plague Monk Sensor Bears. Greenskins are going to be committing to a fight here, which isn't a bad idea. The Skaven aren't quite, I don't know what happened to my brain there, but they aren't quite in position to support these other troops. A nice little Scorch going down there is going to be roasting a couple Orc boys. They have 69 models left, that's what she said. Now the main fighting's underway, so the Grace here is going to be coming in, Plague Monks are coming in, Black Orcs holding relatively firm, but considering how low they are, and plus the contamination effect, and also something else that's really cool for the Skaven army is that the Blight Scab's Plague Pack, the Plague Monk Sensor Bears, do provide immunity to psychology to all nearby Skaven. So actually the Rat Ogres and these other troops aren't going to be getting terror routed, and that's why they didn't get terror routed earlier during that aspect of the Dreadnought. So guys, we got the final blob fight. Balance of Fire is a little bit in the favor. Oh, man, it's just so close. Hard to call at this point. But anyways, you can see Grace here. Grace here is a pretty powerful combatant. The Unholy Clamor is going to keep those Skaven troops fighting, keeping them fresh. Let's look here. Yeah, I mean, very tired. They're not exhausted. Most of the Greenskins themselves are a combination of exhausted or fresh, depending on the unit you got, I suppose. But man, this is just a tense one. It's really going to come down to Azag's targeting. If Azag can finish off this Doom Wheel before it comes back, get a Spirit Leech, maybe, because if that Doom Wheel comes back, it is going to be really, really tough for the Greenskins to kind of get their bearings again. So here comes Azag. He's swooping in on his mighty steed Skull Muncha, going after these Rat Ogres here, and a lot of focus fire coming in from the Goblin Wolf Rider Archers, but the Wheels of Doom coming back is going to be really tough for the Greenskins. So let's take a big overhead aerial view, see what's left. So some Forest Goblin Spider Riders, very good play there, chasing off some of those Rat Ogres. In the distance, we have some Trolls coming back. That's actually pretty nice for the Greenskins. Looks like there's 10 models, and they were able to fend off those Clan Rats. But Azag took a ton of damage there, which is a little bit scary. He has 700 HP. He's got to be really careful. Yeah, Wolf Rider Archers are out of ammo, so it looks like Greenskins coming in for a big old Alpha Strike. Maybe the Wah is close. Troll's getting in there. Azag has to get his hands dirty now. He has to jump in and do some damage, and it looks like he is going to be going into the back, going after some Sensor Bears, but wow, some of the Sensor Bears actually are going to be breaking here. Skaven are having some leadership issues, but so are the Greenskins here. The Wah is active a couple seconds. Oh, man. Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, it probably just came off cooldown, but that would have been pretty nice on the charge. So the Greenskins experience like a mass shattering here. So the Trolls shatter, the Wolf Rider Archers shatter. Azag now is pretty much the last hope for his people. Yeah, he needs to get that Wheels of Doom. So the Goblin Wolf Rider Archers charge in. Azag gets in there, and he does have the Wah, so he's going to get that charge bonus and a pretty nice little boon on his engagement. His current charge bonus is up over 90, which is very, very powerful. But yeah, he's got 600 HP. Rat Ogre, Sensor Bears, all making pretty good contact with him. He needs to get back here. But it looks like the Foul Skaven Hordes are going to be cleaning up the Greenskins. Some Savage Orc Biggins coming in. Forest Goblin Spider Riders doing their best. But the Bounce Power is ebbing heavily into the favor of the Skaven here. Very well played to Scribble as well as Aerocrastic. That was an incredibly fun game to watch. It was really... I mean, it was a stressful one for Scribble too, right? Because he has all these Sensor Bears and slow units, and Aerocrastic had a great skirmishing core and was doing a really good job actually isolating threats in his army, but he remained focused, he got his stuff together in the end game, and was able to avoid the sniping from Azag, which was the big variable at hand. So yeah, very well played to both those guys. It was a super awesome game, and yeah, I mean, Aerocrastic was obviously experimenting with a very, interesting troll build. Trolls, I don't know how trolls normally perform against Skaven. I suppose against like Flares and Wheels, but I haven't tried it too much, so perhaps Aerocrastic, of course, if you're watching, please let us know in the comment section below whether you were just having fun and messing around with the build, or if you were actually looking to kind of explore the metagame a little bit more. I'd be quite curious to hear from you. So, very well played to Scribble and Aerocrastic. If you haven't seen Aero's channel, please make sure to check him out. He is an awesome streamer. He does videos occasionally, but again, more live streams of, you get to see that live micro, that juicy APMs, all that good stuff. So definitely check him out in the comment section below. And other than that, thanks guys for joining, and we will see you guys on the other side. Take care.